with the crown, flower crown.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
And I always knew you would end up together with Camila. But how do you tell your best friend?
How do I what?
How do you tell your best friend?
Sorry, I can't hear you, son, honey. So can you say
How
what?
do you tell your best friend you are in love with her?
How do I tell my best friends that I was in love with Camila? My
Yeah.
best friends have known I've been in love with Camila for like 4 years.
The most romantic Disney prince is Shawn.
Nobody looks
From
like Shawn.
afar. Come on.
It's the truth.
Come on.
Nobody looks like magic.
She is my favorite person in the whole world.
Isn't she brilliant?
I don't think you'll ever meet somebody who can feel emotion like her in all aspects. You know, she can feel hurt like no other, but she can feel love like no other. And it's really amazing. I remember when we wrote I Know You Did last summer in the studio with her, just her like her love for what she believed in was just so powerful that it kind of just pushed me to like make an entire album out of inspiration of the one night. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm so proud of her, truly.
Yeah.
I remember having conversations with her when Stitches went #1, and she goes, I want to have that one day. And I was like, oh, you...
Is, you know, he'll tell me sometimes, I think that he has a very, like, kind of pure, like, free energy. And I think that probably, I don't know if this is true, but I think, like, a trait in him is that he's very, like, let me explain this better. Like, he'll say to me sometimes, oh, I had to talk to this person because it made my heart hurt. And he's very, like, I feel like he feels this need to kind of, like, lift the weight of whatever is hurting him in order for him to be free. And I think that that's really beautiful. That's a trait that I've adopted is, like, you know, whenever I feel like there's, like, a weird energy between me and somebody, or if my heart is hurting for some reason, I'm like, okay, what do I need to do? And I've noticed that about him. It's like, he's like, oh, I felt this way, so I needed to take a walk. I felt this way, so I needed to go and meditate. I felt this way, so I called my family. And I think that, you know, when his heart is hurting, he really feels it. And then
actively searches to heal.
and then he does what he needs to do in order to feel better. And I think also he's just very, like, he's like the most transparent, honest person that I've ever met. And I think it's because of this purity that he has, that I don't think that he can lie or fake because it hurts his heart.
Yeah.
Like,
He's a sweet dude.
he's just like a very pure person, and I think he's constantly kind of like lifting those weights off of him because he can't live like that, and I love that.
Camila released her album.
Yeah.
Which was your favorite song?
She would say,
If I said used to this, I would buy it. She is.
So this is the last song that I wrote for the album, and it's basically, I wrote down this lyric on my phone that was, I wrote down a bunch of lyrics on my phone that I used for this song, but the main one was that I kind of wrote the song about was, it's going to take me a minute, but I could get used to this. And it's basically, I wrote it about someone that I had been friends with for a really, really long time. And then we started dating, and I was just like, oh my God, this is crazy. Like, I can't believe I get to, like, kiss you in the middle of talking now. That's so weird. Or, like, get to, like, hold your hand. Or it's weird that we're going to, like, call each other baby at some point. Like, that's really weird because I've only called you by your name for, like, years. And so it's basically about just kind of first, like, what it felt like first falling in love, and specifically, you know, going to see him for a weekend in San Francisco and, like, what that was like. And I feel like the song was really special because I didn't feel like I was going into the studio to write a song for my album. It felt like I was just, like, painting a picture of that weekend and of that feeling and of what it felt like. And I feel like I'll, like, look back on that song when I'm older and be like, oh, I remember exactly what that was like. And it was really cool because Phineas, who I worked with on this song, he chose all the sounds in the track for a reason, and he wrote me a long explanation of why. Like, in the beginning, you hear, like, noises that you would hear, like, in San Francisco on the street. I think it's a trolley or something. There's, like, a line about tequila shots, and you hear tequila glasses clinking. There's a line about this person has, like, calluses on their finger from playing guitar, and so he has, like, the sound of an electric guitar on there. And so it's really beautiful in the fact that, you know, I put so much detail in it, so it really means a lot to me.
I would say, don't be so awkward in front of Camila.
I've said it. I think I wrote the first week that I was writing the album, and so there's basically you'll see that there's two kind of storylines in the album, which were happening in my life, and basically somebody that I knew for a really long time, I had liked him, but he wasn't ready, and so then he liked me, but I was not really there to like him in that way anymore because I'd moved on. And I was just kind of angry about it because I was like, ugh, now you're saying that you're in love with me, like you waited so long and now it's too late. And so Should Have Said It is about that. And it's just kind of, I was just angry because I was like, ugh, why did you wait so long to tell me? You should have said it. And that's what Should Have Said It is about.
What is your favorite thing about Camila?
What's my favorite thing about her? It's Camila. She'll kill you. Let's say Camila. That's 2 L's. My favorite thing about her? Oh no. She is so good at being a genuine human. Like she I don't know how to explain it. She'll never lie. Like she'll always just be so upfront with how she feels and how she feels about a situation, and it's so authentic and it's from the most real place ever in her heart. And yeah, she makes you feel like you can be the best version of yourself around her, which is I think the best quality a human can possess. But yeah, among 100 million other things, I think she's great. Yeah. What's your question?
Feel It Twice I wrote the same week I wrote Should Have Said It, which makes sense because they're about the same thing and the same person. And, it was just about, I just felt bad that this person had been my friend for a really long time and we were really, really close. And when he confessed that he had feelings for me, things kind of got awkward because we weren't together. And so I felt like I was hurting him and I felt weird because we felt like we were kind of drifting away as friends. And everybody kind of knows what that's like when you have somebody that you're really close with. And I don't know, they say they have feelings for you and it feels tense. So the friendship feels tense suddenly. And I felt really bad about hurting him, about hurting somebody that was my friend and was a big part of my life. And suddenly they weren't as much anymore. Is about the same. It was just me making fun of myself for pretending like I didn't care that this guy that I was low-key deep down, I wasn't obsessed with him at the time, but I was definitely shook by him, and I didn't want to be, but I was. And so I remember walking into the studio and I was like, oh, I really don't want to like him, but I do, and I want to kiss him so bad, and I wish I didn't, but I do. The most romantic Disney prince is Shawn.
Nobody looks
From
like Shawn.
afar. Come on.
It's the truth.
Come on.
Nobody looks like magic.